Wildcat?
I was not. I was not. Yeah, maybe in some dreams I was a Wildcat. But
was a Wildcat even invented when you were running back?
Maybe, maybe. And I would have liked to experimented with that, but didn't happen that way.
What makes Xander kind of I don't know if he's the perfect guy for it, but just for him to be in that position and take the ball and did what he did the other night.
He's a pretty conscientious kid. He does a good job with his communication out there and making sure we're all getting off on the snap. But he's smart. I mean, I think he's a kid that you can put a lot on him, and it's never really too much. So when you have a guy like that, and he runs hard, and he kind of understands what everyone's doing, it makes it easy, to call different plays with him back there. And I think there's a certain comfort from the front, our offensive line, with him back there.
Were you happy with the play your backs on Saturday?
Yes, I mean, I think that, there's always room for improvement, Tom. I mean, we didn't hit the 100-yard mark like we wanted to. That's a big deal. But we did get in the end zone. That's something that we've really harped on. We want to make sure that we're getting more explosive plays. That's another area that we didn't quite hit the mark. So there's a couple things that we need to improve on. But otherwise, I mean, I thought we did a good job making people miss and getting a lot of yards after contact. Xander did a great job. Even, Dylan had one carry, and then King did some good things. Obviously, we all have room for improvement. But overall, it was an adequate day. But there's room for improvement.
Do you expect Dylan Downing to actually play? Was that a mild upset?
Yeah, that was definitely in the plans. I think he's earned that right throughout what he's shown us in spring ball and over the summer and in the training camp. We were developing a comfort level with him back there. He's a very physical kid, and he's smart as well. So, they all have a role, and it's my goal to get all three of them in the game, each game.
Must have shown something in camp because he was involved in a trick play.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff doesn't just put anybody out there with
Right.
trick plays, right?
Right. Yeah, we all had repped that quite a bit, so there was a comfort level there. And again, he's a smart kid, and I thought he handled the assignment well.
Right. Mm-hmm. What do you want to see Saturday from your backs?
I want to see us take the next step. I want to obviously to get back in the end zone. I want to see us go over 100 yards on Saturday. Win our one-on-one matchups and be productive. More explosive plays. That's something that we always harp on. Xander had one, but I said that's not enough. We need more, and that's why you fell short of 100 yards. You're gonna need at least 2, maybe 3 or 4. You know what I mean? And to get to that mark, because of his running style, he's so rugged and physical. It's not a lot of big plays, but when you get your opportunities, you've got to see the seam, you got to burst through it, and you got to make big plays and really change the momentum of the game.
Are you still getting Jaquez Cross ready?
I am. He's doing a good job. He's working at it, and he's chomping at the bit, ready to get in. He's a young guy. They all want to play, and I think he's right there, and he'll be ready when his time is called.
How have you evaluated Samson James' skill set, and when he eventually gets on the field, whether this year or next year, what do you think he brings to the room?
Well, he's a very physical individual. He's pretty sure when he hits and he makes his decision at the line of scrimmage, I mean, he's going to hit it with some fortitude, and he runs with some conviction. So, he's always falling forward, a lot of yards after contact. Got to clean his eyes up in a couple areas. There's some rawness. Got to catch a few more balls. He's got solid hands, but he can continue to improve in that area. But I think he's doing a good job. It's just mainly just understanding our playbook, really diving into it, because we do a lot of things, and it's just taking things piece by piece and kind of getting them more comfortable.
You and Xander both kind of emphasized, the explosive plays. Xander only had the 11-yard touchdown and then the 24-yard run in the second half. What are some of the biggest factors that go into those plays, and where do you think Xander kind of improve in making those?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's no back does it on his own. We need some assistance. But with that being said, he's got to have very disciplined eyes. He has to understand where the seams are, how we're blocking, and where the possibilities may come. And when he sees it, he's got to burst. Because when he does burst, I mean, he gets going downhill. He's a big physical guy, and he's a load to tackle. So it's just a matter of him being confident in what he sees and bursting through the line with conviction, and then really getting out in space where now he can play to his advantage and the other defense is kind of at a disadvantage.
Right. Xander, obviously, he got 21 carries on Saturday. He kind of mentioned that was kind of just how the game flow kind of went. What's kind of going into getting King and Dylan a little more acclimated so they can contribute just a little bit more as the season goes on?
I mean, it'll be a game plan deal.
Right.
I think that those kids are always ready to go in and compete whenever their number's called. But you know, I do like the distribution that we had the other day. I mean, could it be a little bit different? Maybe. It depends on the game. Depends on the situation. That game was pretty tight the other day, so I mean, we were kind of in a situation where we need guys out there that we can, you know, and we have faith in all of them, but you're certain guys, when it gets crunch time, you want to go with your guys, and so I feel good and confident with all three of those kids that they can all get the job done, play the entire game, and that's a good feeling to have as a coach.
Absolutely.
From a coach's perspective, how can UConn losing their head coach so suddenly affect the team?
I mean, they could rally behind that. You know, they could really come together as a team and just find purpose and passion to go and play hard for their defensive coordinator, the interim. You know, so there's always that element, and so we've got to make sure that we go in there and we've got to be ready to go, because they're going to be chomping at the bit. You know, it's going to be their Super Bowl, and it's going to be ours as well. And so we're going to be ready to just try to go 1-0. That's all we want to do, is just try to go 1-0 this week and stay focused on the assignment.
Defensive coordinator steps in as the interim, like you said. Are you kind of expecting that UConn defense to kind of be fired up on Saturday?
I am, certainly. I mean, he's been their leader for a while now, and they believe in him. You know, so I expect them to want to show well for him, and maybe give him a chance to be considered. And so I firmly expect them to play their tails off, and we're going to be ready to play ours off as well.